my name is Beth Hiley here for BoardGameGeek at SPIEL 2019. I'm sitting down with Tony Bodell from Surprise Steer Games, and you've brought us your newest title for this year, which is Lux Aeterna, which you were just telling me means eternal light in Latin.
Eternal light, indeed, yes. Absolutely. It's a solitaire game, and it's a bit of a moody piece, as the artwork suggests. It's a game where you are a solo space pilot. You've been hit by a meteor, your ship is falling apart around you, and you're trying to repair it. And to make matters worse, your ship is now being caught in the gravitational field of a black hole. So you've got to try and fix your ship, stay alive long enough to be rescued, and not fall into the black hole. So what you have is a series of the systems of the ship. So there are 6 elements to the ship. You have life support, power, engineering, memory, communications, and navigation. Okay? And the idea is that they start broken, and that's on the value of 2.
Okay.
If during gameplay that value goes below 1, then that system has collapsed.
Nice.
And you can see on the system card, I don't know whether you can zoom in on these.
Yep.
But you've got the coloured bit is the good bit. So if you manage to fix this by making the dice value go above 6, then this good thing happens. And it says whenever you re-roll a system dice, which is one of these, and it's a 6, it becomes operational.
Right.
So you could get a 6 or a 7 then, makes it happy. So the idea is to stay alive long enough by fixing the bits of the ship. Because if too many bits collapse, go below 1, then you lose the game. On the bad side is the dark bit. And then if this system collapses, you're unable to prevent it going below the 1. You cannot use re-roll a dice action for the rest of the game. And this is where these action cards come in. Okay, so those are the systems. You're trying to stay alive. And if you can get to the bottom of this deck and not have fallen into the black hole, which is this little bit here, or have your systems collapse too much, then you score. To make it even worse, you've got 10 minutes of real time to do this.
Real time?
10 minutes. Sounds like loads of time. Okay, and if you're one of those players, like one of my playtesters was, Matt Dunson, he said that 10 minutes was too easy. So I had to make the game more difficult for him. I said, try it at 8 minutes. And he did it in 8 minutes. Although it was a bit more of a panic for him. So he's responsible. So 10 minutes of real time. And there's various ways that you can make it more difficult. Because here on the black hole card, you can see how close we are to the black hole. And as the game goes on, we will move closer to the black hole. And if we ever get to that last spot, then we're gone. We're done. If you want to make the game more difficult, then you can start the game closer to the black hole and get more points, because each space here gets an increasing number of bonus points should you survive. So those are various parameters, but the actual heart of the game, which is I know what everybody is absolutely chomping at the bit to find out, is what are these cards? So this is your console. Every turn you will have 4 cards at least. Normally it's 4, you draw 4 cards unless it's modified by what happens here. And then you have to allocate them. You have to allocate 1 to be an event, which is basically a part of the ship is damaged. 1 of them becomes your action. 1 of them is your speed, which is how far you're going to be moving towards the black hole. And then the 4th one goes into your cache if you wanted to, or you could discard it. So it's a card that you can save between rounds. Okay? So on the second round, I'll have 4 cards drawn plus this one available to me. Okay? And there are ways in the game where this can get broken, in which case you flip it over. And now you no longer have your spare comfort slot to make sure you can save the ship. Okay, so you'll start with that
here
one.
we'll start with our green one.
So if we take a look at the card anatomy, and I'll put these 4 cards out. So the cards are all color-coded by the system. So power is always yellow, and you notice that our artist Alex Lee has done an amazing job on the art.
Yeah, I really like it's very tri-toned, because you've got sort of that tan, black, and then the color to connect it to, which it's even if I didn't have this, I would immediately associate it with memory.
Yeah, so it's absolutely wonderful artwork, and it's so evocative for me. But here's the anatomy of the card then. So I'll take this one. So you have the system it relates to, and the number is simply the number of the card in the set. Okay. So if anybody wants to put up their rules queries on BoardGameGeek, they can refer to the card. COM19, what's Tony going on about? What does TX mean? It's transmission. This lightning zap is the damage that happens with an event. So if I assign this card as the event, that is saying that the comm system is taking 1 damage. Okay? And with my cards, I must assign damage to one of the systems that's still in play if I can. If you draw cards that only reference safe or completely destroyed systems, then you can place whatever you like there. But if you can always damage a system,
zap the thing that's already down.
Yeah, you can't just kind of game it that way. You must always damage something if it's available. And you can see here, this is 1 damage. Alternatively, I could use it as speed. If I use it as speed, it means I'm moving 2 towards the black hole at the end of the round. Okay? So I have to balance whether I want to save my comm system, which is currently 2 and will go down to 1, or whether I actually want to. My other cards might be worse on the black hole movement, you see, so I might decide I need to move 2 rather than 3 or 4. And then the last bit is you assign that card as the action, and I normally do that.
So search the deck and remove the first glitch.
Now glitches, it just never gets any better. Glitches are cards that are seeded into the main deck, and you can find them easily because the back is different. You search for the latest one at the top, and you flip it over and you get rid of it. So this, had this been drawn naturally, Power Surge, each of your highest value systems take 1 damage. And if I'd taken that in the first few rounds and I've just got a bunch of 2s and 1s there, all my 2s would have been knocked down to a 1.
Wow, yeah.
So you need cards like this to basically filter out the horrible events that are happening here.
But of course, all of this is happening under the time pressure of 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Within those 4 cards, you are making these okay, that's event, that's speed, that's thing. Okay, the last one is going to be catch, and then I imagine you're resolving all of these.
Resolving. So if I was to take my turn, I mean, I think we've probably spent. I'm already in the black hole now. The 10 minutes have gone by, so I quite like that one because the glitches can be really horrible.
Yep.
I mean, looking at some of these other abilities, that is flip a dice to its opposite side, but not a 1 to 6.
And it's only a 1.
It's
That's
a 1
not
damage.
too bad. And this, I like this for speed because then we don't want to go fast.
The problem is these 2 as events would kill the system that they're assigned to because they're 2, and everything starts on a 2.
So we definitely
don't. So I really don't want
to
use those. So I don't want to swap 2 dice. They're all on 2 anyway, and I don't want to swap 2 dice. So I'm quite happy actually at this point, looking at the movements and everything else. I think I'm going to keep that one in my cache. I'll use that one as the movement, I'll use that as the action, and I'm going to take 1 damage on engineering.
And you resolve in the order that you wish, or always with events?
That's the cache, so that won't happen this time. So 1 damage.
Goes down to 1.
Goes down to 1.
We already did the deck and the glitch.
So we would just sift to the top, take out the top one.
And then this one, our speed would be 1.
1, and so our ship moves from its starting place 1 closer to the black hole. And then I take these 3 cards, discard them.
Draw 4.
Draw 4.
And off we go.
And off we go.
Now, if people are interested in getting this, when is it going to be available?
It's available now at Hall 4, stand F121 at Spiel. Otherwise, after the show, we're selling it online from the Surprise Stare Games website, www.surprisestaregames.co.uk. This is Essen Spiel, so hopefully we're going to be in talks with people, so maybe this will find its way over to North America via a different route. There is a German version with Frosted Games.
Yep.
So if you want it at the show, come and see us. It's just €20. If you want it after the show, it'll be available on our website.
Well, Tony, before I let you go, I do want to just give the little note, too, that you were telling me before we started rolling that what your inspiration was for this game, aside from Lux Aeterna, is?
Lux Aeterna is a piece of beautiful music that was used in the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it's by Ligeti. It is an incredibly haunting piece of music, and as part of quite a lot of commuting, I used to listen to that soundtrack a lot, and I thought to myself, I must do a game about 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I just kept on working, and then it came to me that the best way for a game like that to be is as a solitaire game. I love the idea of having driven around on my own listening to the music. I wanted the player to feel that they were alone with all of these things.
Which I think also fits in with the aesthetic of 2001, though.
Yes, because it's a cold film. It's a solitary experience. It's
the emptiness of space, very much.
And the emptiness of the human beings are cold and empty in that as well. And it's Hal has got the most personality. It's just perfect movie, and I hope that this gives people a feeling of that loneliness. And I think just look at the artwork and see how evocative of it is, of this one person who's having to kind of struggle with all of these.
Well, if you guys want to check that out, this is Lux Aeterna, which is being published by Surprise Stare Games or Frosted Games, which is in Germany. And Tony, thank you again.
Thank you very much.